Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and into this wonderful tutorial, I'm trying to build a simplified semi-automated machine learning app, right? So in most traditional way of doing this, we have to go through this process. You just get the problem you want to solve, you collect data about it, you label, you prepare your data, then you split it, you evaluate, you build features, you build models and stuff. So these are the steps that are usually automated. But in this tutorial, I'll be trying to build some of them, not all of them. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So I have this simple app, and then when I come to here, I'll upload a simple data set, right? So this is going to be our data set. When I just drag it and put it here, and I click on the submit, it takes some time to analyze. It's going to give me my results. Perfect. So it's giving me the results. So the name of the file that was uploaded, the time, then there's some EDA details. So there's the size of the file, the shape, which is going to be our row, our columns, which is going to be our features, our targets, which is going to be our species, and then this the models, right? The scores for all of the models. So we have several machine learning algorithms. We have logistic regression, LDA, KNN, k-nearest neighbor, decision tree, CAT, naive Bayes, SVM. And it's given us the mean accuracy as well as the standard deviation, so which is quite interesting. We can also view our file to see the data set, which is quite interesting. So this is just a basic app. You can do more complicated stuff, but let's do it a simple bit. So now let's see how to build this app. So I've already created a simple boilerplate so that we're able to be faster. So we have our template, which is having two files, our index and our details, and then we have our static file and then our app, right? So this will be what to be below, the link to be below, so you can start with this straight away. Okay, so perfect. So this is the same file that we had here. We have our app file. So the app file contains something basic. It's just simple flask bootstrap. So if you don't have flask, just go with pip install flask. Let me show you how to do that. It's going to be pip install flask. We need flask bootstrap. We need flask-uploads. We need uploads, and then we need pandas, machine like NumPy, and all those stuff, right? These are busy stuff, okay, to be able to have access to these things here. Now, perfect. So these are the files there. So now let's start with it. So Python app.py. Sorry. Okay, perfect. So these are the busy stuff, right? So inside our index file, we have this simple form. So we have imported, we have extended bootstrap to be able to use bootstrap here. Then we have created a simple jumbotron, and then a container which is going to contain our form. So inside the form, the most important thing is the name here, right? Which is going to be attached to it. So let's add some stuff to it. We're going to create an action. So the action will be using the URL for to arrive at our action. Then we're going to call it as data uploads, right? Data uploads. So this is where we're going to be. So we have to create a route to this point also. Then the next thing we have a method called post. We also need an env type, which is going to be multi-path form data, right? You can omit the quotation marks, right? It's still going to work anyway. Okay, you can omit it and it's going to work. So this is the basic stuff that's going to receive the file, right? This is very basic. Okay, so the name and then the route with the method of post. So let's create this thing here. So to create it, let's go here, and then we copy this one and paste it. So from here we have data uploads. So data uploads, and then I'm going to create another function called data uploads. Data uploads, perfect. So this is going to be directed to our details file, which is here. So in our details file, there's nothing here, right? Perfect. So that is what we have now. Okay, so because we'll be uploading some stuff, we have to import some uploads. So now let's go with from flask uploads, import upload set. Then we need to import configure. We need to import configure uploads, and then we need to also import all and then data, right? Okay, perfect. So these are the main things that you need to import to be able to have access to it. Nice. So from this stuff, you have to work on the configuration. So the configuration takes two things: take the file and then the location where the file is going to go. So let's create our file. It's going to be our files, it's going to be upload set. Then it takes the name, so file, and then the all. So the all can be data, it can be images, but let's use all for now, right? Okay. To be able to accept everything, then we're going to configure it. So app config. Then here we're going to give us the location. So uploaded files destination, right? That is the destination that we want to go. So we want it to go to our static file. We can create a different route. Then our static, we're going to create upload storage. So the upload storage folder is here. It's here, right? This upload storage folder. Okay, let's see. Perfect. Then we're going to go to configure uploads, and then going to pass in our app and then the files. Now that we are done with this, so let's see what our app has done for us now. Okay, we have it here. Let me close this. Okay, now let's see what is running. So let me run it. Cancel. This was for the previous one, but let me run it. Okay, perfect. So this is what our basic app is, right? So this index is here, right? Simplified app. There's a basic stuff that we have here, right? And then the details will be shown when you go to the details place. Okay, perfect. So we have been able to configure what is going to accept the file, right? Accept the uploaded file. Now let's work on it inside our route. So to go with that, we need a method, because from here we had a method called post, right? So we need to use that same method here. So going to be methods, right? It's going to be our post. You can use get too if you want. So get and then post. Okay, perfect. Now let's work on it. So if request dot method is equal to the post that we have, and then CSV data in request dot files, right? So the CSV data is coming from the name here, CSV data that we had here. So if that is the case, if the post and then if there is a post method and then there's a CSV data in a request file, then let's create our file. So our file is going to be request file. This is redundant, but you can do it that way anyway. Files and then CSV data, and then we need to be able to read a file. So file name is going to be our files dot our file, right? File dot file name. Perfect. So we can actually pass this our file dot file name here. So let's call it as file name. It's going to file name. So if we save it here, go to our details and then create a simple file name here. So let's save it as C. Let's run our app. Let's upload something and check and see what is going to work, right? So I'll go back to the arrays that we had, and then I'll go back to this place, load. Oh, I see what I did. Upload, right? Submit. Perfect. See that it is showing the file that was uploaded, right? Which is quite interesting, which is coming from the result here. So that means it's accepting it. But you realize that although it's accepting it, it's not being stored inside our upload, right? If you check our upload storage, there's nothing here. There's nothing in our upload. It is reading it, but it's not saving the file. So we have to save the file. So how do we do that? It's quite simple. So we have the file, then we have to save it. So to go with file.save, let me use it back, right? So we have file.save, then we need an os.path.join. We have to import the os later. Then we need a static file, static, and then upload storage. That is where the file is going to. It takes another argument of the file name. We are passing that file name. So let's import os. We have already imported os and then datetime for those stuff. Okay, perfect. there's one thing we also have to do. We have to be able to secure the file, so we can secure the file with this. It's from work, forgotten her name, workz. It's the German. Import secure file, right? Secure file name. So we'll be using this one around this our file, right? Secure file name. Perfect. So now we'll be able to save the file. So since we're able to save the file, now we can be able to work with it perfectly. So now anytime we do that, it's going to save this file inside our storage format. Now let's work on our EDA stuff. So on our EDA function or EDA functions, can just create a function that's going to work on it, but let's make it simple. So df go to pd.read csv. So this pd.read csv is coming from our EDA package, from the pandas that we had here, right? So how do we read it? You can just pass in this thing that we had here, pass it inside here, and it's going to read it. Hope it's correct. It's giving me another. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now it will be able to read the file, right? So since we are able to save it, we can read the file. Now let's actually see whether it's reading it. So let's create something called a table to be able to see the file here. So I'm going to call it as df table, then df, right? So I'll pass that df table here. Df table is equal to df, right? What we have, same thing. It's still going to work anyway. Okay, perfect. So when you come here, then here, right? So inside this here, I'll paste it here. So this is going to be our df table from the df table that we had here. And then we're going to go with to_html. So this to_html is a simple pandas function, right? So inside this pandas function, we're going to pass in a class. The classes of table script, which is from bootstrap, and then this in n rep to make it more beautiful and save, right? So let me save it and let's come back to run our app. So I'll upload some data set that I have here. So when I drag it here, let's open it bigger, submit. Perfect. See that it has actually seen the file and that's given out the data set. So the main idea for this is quite simple. To be able to place any table, any HTML stuff, any CSV stuff, you just go with this format, right? So to_html, and then you put a class there, which is quite interesting. Okay, now we have been able to put our data set down. Let's work on the rest, on the EDA function and then the model. So I'll paste my EDA function stuff, which is quite simple to do. These are normal basic EDA stuff, right? So this is not important. So this is for the shape, the size, the columns, the target, right? By default, if you look at this data set, the target is just the last one. And then, so that's what we're trying to do. So we use it as by that default, by that ideology, to accept the labels, right? So the last column, which is by default. You can also use ilog to do that. And then the feature is going to be from the 0 to the last but 1, right? Which is this. You can also use ilog to do that. Okay, so that is for our EDA function. Now let's work on our models. So let's work on the models. I'm going to call it as model building, right? So to do that, I'll import my machine learning packages, which is going to be these ones. So all these things, logistic regression, decision tree, and all these blah blah blah, right? You may not use these ones, but you can import them if you want to add more functionality to it. Now let's work on our model. So to work on our model, we'll be creating a model, an empty list of models, and then an empty list of the results that we need. Let's go to results, and then we're going to create one for the names, right? The names of each another model. Then you append them, right? So let me copy that, the functions, so that will be so I've copied and pasted. So we need to get an S. So this is the model that we have built, and then we are appending all these machine learning functions, right, inside into our model. Then the same thing with the names. Then we'll be looping through it perfectly. So this is not important. You can add it for the future. It's also not important. Okay, now let me expand it well so you can see it well. So this is going to be our model that we are appending inside this list. This is an empty list of results, names, and all the models and a score. Then we're going to be looping through our models, the one we have appended. Then we're going to pick each and every one of them for the name and for the model, and run it throughout this stuff, right? And then we will append the results, append the names, and then build a custom message, right? So this is what we'll be using inside our details file. And you put them all inside modules, and then we're going to loop through them perfectly with these ones. Okay, so how do you get the S and the Y? To get the S and the Y, we can just make it here, right? So we can just make it like this format, S and then the Y, right? You can, this is just redundant, but let's do it like that. So df S features, then df Y labels, right? You can just do it like that, or we can just straight away make it like X and then here as Y. It's still going to work anyway, right? Any of them work. Okay, perfect. So that is it. Now we have to be able to accept all these things and pass it inside our details file. So I'll paste them here, all these things that we need here. I'll paste them at this place. So df.shape, all those stuff is equal to df.shape, everything that you need to use here, right? So let me see. So I'll paste it, right? Perfect. So these are things that we need. Now let's work on the date. There is also a date function, so we can just use the normal date that function for the date. So date, we're going to use the date time, right, model to be able to do that. Okay, perfect. So now we are done with most of them. So now let's work on our details file. So I'll copy them and paste. So to work on it, most of the things that you'll be needing is we need to be able to loop through all the stuff that we have, right? So container. Okay, to loop through stuff, we just go with the for, put the ginger template, for I in, let's say whatever, so df columns, right? And then we're going to create a simple I here for the list, and then we're going to go with the n for, right? So that's the basic thing for that, to be able to look through all those things that we had here, to be able to look through our columns, our models, our results, all these things. So that is what we'll be using this function to do that particular stuff. So to save time, I'll copy them and paste it. Okay, to save time, I've copied it and pasted. So this is normal bootstrap stuff. This is going to be our container. So the idea is that we have a file name and then the file name which we had previously, right? Which is quite simple. And then we also have our timestamp, which is coming from date. Let me make it simple. So here goes here, right? Okay, so that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Sorry for the size. Okay, so we have df size here, right? So we have the file name, the time for the date, which is here, and then we have the exploit data. We have df size is coming from a df size here. We have the df shape is coming from df shape here, and then we have the column. So for I in df column, the one I was talking about, is going to be this, right? We're going to loop through it. And then for the target, we also have our target name, which is coming from here. And then the model result, you're going to just build a simple ML. You're going to just build something simple. So for ML accuracy in model.result, model.result is coming from all the models here, right? And I'm going to loop through it to get it perfectly. Then I'm going to close it with this. So that is the main idea. So for the details file, as you already know, we had something like that. So now let's save it. How do you hide and unhide it? So this is just simple bootstrap stuff, simple JavaScript function to be able to do the animation stuff, which is quite simple. So to be below, these are not important yet. So back to okay, perfect. So that is the main idea behind apps. So we've been able to import whatever we want to do, the full name, the div class, the accuracy, then these things. So let's check and see whether our app is working. So I'll go back our data set here. Which is this, right? So submit it. Perfect. It's taking time. Voila, it's working perfectly. So now our app is working perfectly. It's working perfectly, which is quite interesting. So let me add some different data sets. So to go back, just go to refresh. It turns you back. How the refresh work is, as I already showed. So how the refresh work is just simple. Just go to here. Then we are just redirecting it back to our index, right? That is the main idea for the refresh. So let's upload another data set, which is totally different from the ones we have. Let me use the Pima dataset. Load it, submit. Perfect. So it's like it's working totally with the number of, it's totally different dataset with the number of pregnancy and all this stuff, which is actually working well. So let me add some simple beautification to it to make it see the loading bar and all those stuff. So that one is quite simple. Okay, so that is the basic stuff about the app. So thank you for watching this long tutorial, right? There's quite a long tutorial. So the main idea is just to create a form. It's going to accept it, then process get a function to accept the form, and then use a normal pandas Python stuff here, build a model, and then send whatever thing that we have back to our details, right? Which is quite interesting. So the code will be below, so don't worry about all this bootstrap stuff. Thank you and then stay blessed.